right, this here is Mr. Blue Boy. He is 7 weeks old and he's a petite Bernedoodle from Myrtle and Theodore's F1B litter of puppies. He now weighs 6 pounds, 2 ounces. I just know, you probably don't know that from watching the video, but he's like just standing very awkward, like, what are we doing? So 6 pounds, 2 ounces. So I'm expecting his adult weight to be around 25 pounds when he's fully grown, which will be at about a year old. His energy level is medium to low. This guy tends to be pretty calm most of the time. When everybody else is running around, jumping around, he will be sitting and just patiently waiting for me to pick him up, and doesn't feel like he always has to be in the middle of it all. He does have his moments though. He definitely can enjoy it, but it's not his #1 speed, basically. So as far as his coloring goes, he is blonde for the most part. He does have a little bit, some darker color on the tips of his hair, but in his coat, if you can see, let's do a close-up of you real quick. I know, I'm gonna hold you really weird for this, but let's show everybody. So you can see that down underneath, it's a little bit lighter. So his coat is probably gonna lighten up. That happens with our Bernedoodles. That comes from the poodle side. So his coat's gonna lighten up once his adult coat comes in. But he's also going to be lighter down underneath. So if he's cut short, he's gonna look a lot lighter than if his hair is allowed to grow out like it is now. He also has some white. So he's got the fun little spot on the top of his head right here. And then he's got white on his chest, a little bit underneath his chin. And then he's got just a little tiny bit on the tip of his tail and a little bit on the ends of his toes. His coat is a really nice, fun, thick wave, which will get a little bit more wavy once he gets his adult coat, but I don't believe that he's gonna get any curls. I think he's gonna stay pretty loose. His coat's gonna be one of those that's a little bit more manageable, just because you won't have to brush quite as much or go to the groomers as often. So about every 8 weeks, or possibly a little bit longer, just depending on if you keep the brushing down and what's going on. If he's getting into water, then he'll need a little bit more grooming, just because that's where the gnats start to come from very often when they get wet. So like I said, this boy's first speed is usually pretty calm. He's really, I'm gonna put you like this for a minute and see. How are we doing, huh? Come here. He's actually being a little bit worried right now. You okay? He is really focused with great eye contact. I mean, right now he keeps on trying to look at me to be like, what is it that we're doing? Do you want me to do something? So because he gives me such great eye contact all the time, he's been really easy to train. He does need a little bit of time to explore stuff at first, which is really great when you know that that's the case. So for instance, if you're going somewhere new, he might be a little bit standoffish at first and not too sure about it, because what he wants to actually do is be able to have time to go around and sniff everything and check it out first. And then once he does that, he's like, okay, I checked it all out, everything's safe, or I feel comfortable, or I didn't find anything to be alarmed about. And so then he's good to go after that. So just remembering that he needs a little bit of time before he's able to start working whenever you're in a new environment. If it's something that he's been doing before, then he doesn't need that. He does learn really quick, and he really enjoys being with people, but he's another one that he's okay to also have some alone time. I find him doing that quite often, where his litter mates will all be outside playing, having a good time, and he'll just be like, oh, this is the perfect time to go back into the puppy house and just hang out by myself. What you doing, babe? Huh? So, I'm not sure why he's sitting like this. Let's turn you this way so they can see your face, maybe. Let's see if that looks a little bit better. So, what else should we say about you? Oh, he did really good when we went to the vet's office, because that can always be pretty alarming. All the puppies did really good. I was really impressed. Everybody took a treat from the vet and from the techs, and that's while they're up on the table which is new, different people, different smells. And so if they're taking treats from them, then that tells me a lot that they're not freaked out, because if they are freaked out, they will not eat. So he did really good with that, and he felt so comfortable after a while that he even took a little nap while we were there. He would do good in a home with children over 5, just because of the, like I said, the newness and him needing to take time with that. It would be better to have children who could understand that as well. And also he'd do great in a home with dogs, but it'd be better if they were a little bit calmer, because his nature is so calm. I feel like if there was a really rambunctious, high energy dog, it would be too much for him, and he would not feel like he was able to have enough quiet time, which is something that he does require. As far as his health testing went, everything looked good. He is doing well with his growth. Everything checked out well, except for the Giardia. He does have a little case of that. Thank goodness we're not seeing any signs of it. We have what I call Tootsie Roll poop, which is exactly what I want to see from the puppies. So we're catching everything early, and that's why we do testing, so that we can make sure that we get that if there is an issue, so that we can treat it. So he's being treated for that. As far as his future home, he would do best in a home where it's a calmer environment that will, like I said, give him time to adjust to the new things and new people. So somewhere that, you know, he will be okay as he grows. To, you know, if you've got extended family or a birthday party, something big going on at your house, he'll be fine with that, as he's able to first be comfortable in his environment and know that really well, and then start meeting people. Something all at once is what would be difficult for him if he doesn't have time to get used to it or to build up to it. What else about you, big boy, huh? He would do good also for first time dog owners, huh? Just because of how calm his nature is. And so he's going to be a little guy that isn't going to necessarily be seeking out things to do to keep him occupied. He's not going to get so bored easily, so he won't be looking at stuff trying to escape or trying to chew on a cord or something, maybe a slipper that's not left down, or that is left down on the ground. He's going to be really good and content as long as he's able to, you know, have that quiet time that he needs in between being able to be with his people and feel secure in all of that. And I think that that's it. Yeah, let's go to a close-up of your big boy. Oh, and he also has the short legs like Myrtle. There we go. That's Mr. Blue Boy.